Hey, yo, what if we found out today, tomorrow, next week, that 50 Cent and Rick Ross were actually in cahoots with each other? Would that disappoint you? Would you be mad? You would be. I know you would be. Cause of how mad y'all was at the Troy Ave situation. When y'all found out Troy Ave, at the hint that he was on some Jussie Smollett type of time, y'all went crazy on Troy Ave for a whole week. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what y'all think. I think y'all would be mad. I think y'all would be. I think it's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? Y'all watch, people get on here all the time and be like, yo, when they talk about the beefs as they be heating up, all of the content creators always say, hopefully this don't escalate to nothing past, on wax, or, they're gonna they talk back and forth and all of that, but this ain't going, hopefully this don't turn into nothing violent or whatever. But then when you find out, if you find out that, it was a little bit of smoke and mirrors, everybody is furious. So tell the truth, would you be mad? No, I'm not about to say that that's the case. I'm just saying, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think that's the case, but if that were the case, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I did see some content out there that alluded to. I don't even want to say alluded to. They was basically saying that was the situation between 50 and Jim Jones, that they'll never actually hurt each other. Like they talk about each other, but they know, they have a couple of mutual colleagues or friends, and it's a strong enough connection to the mutual that they wouldn't cross a certain line. But if we can, if you and I could find, let's just say I had an adversary in the rap game who all I gotta do is mention his name and call him a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? Funny face having ass nigga. And my views is gonna go all the way up. If I had that, because y'all believed that was really an op and y'all feed off of drama like that, I would take that. As a matter of fact, is it any? I dare somebody to start with me, so I could have an op. I could use it. So I could try this method. The method don't work if I don't have a real perceived op, or if I don't really disrespect somebody, and I'm not going to really anyway. Just thinking out loud. But yeah, so 50 Cent and Rick Ross came out and he said all kinds of things about Rick Ross came out and said all kinds of things about 50 Cent's son. Said when he was down on Star Island, he seen the boy roaming around or jogging around the track or something. You know what I'm saying? And he scooped him up and he took him fishing. Taught him how to fish, you know what I'm saying? He baited his fishing pole and all of that. And watched him catch his first fish and all that. And he called him Bruce Leroy. And he joking 50 to death. Now a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people are saying that 50 Cent is taking an L at this juncture of their back and forth. But some people are like, how is that an L when 50 did the same thing to him? You know what I'm saying? Like he took his baby mama shopping, and salute the Zip with the drip. He pointed out that fact. You know what I'm saying? Took his baby mom shopping, this, that, and the third. All of that stuff, all of that messiness that took place, 10, 15, 16 years ago, when 50 and Rick Ross kind of first started going at each other. But yeah, I see the point of view. I see it is nasty to be sitting here saying, look, I took your son fishing and all of that and blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess it all depends on how you look. Did you hurt my son? And where's the footage? Maybe that's the best question. Where's the footage? If ain't no in this day and era, if it ain't on camera, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? So with those conditions at play, Rick Ross, you missing something. You're missing an ingredient. The footage. You know what's funny? I heard Chick Smooth talking about how he's one of the people who feel like 50 took a L, this, that, and the third. I feel like at this point, man, like maybe they not in cahoots with each other, but maybe they is. Not cahoots, but they both know this nigga ain't gonna do nothing but this. This is just somebody I get to diss. McDonald's and Burger King used to be, they was competitors. They would diss each other in their commercials. It wouldn't be disrespect, but they would shade each other in their commercials. And it's just, I guess it was probably healthy for business. The competitive nature. I don't know. But I know at this point, what year did 50 and Rick Ross start wilding out on each other? Let me see something. I know I don't like looking for stuff while I'm talking to y'all. But let's see. 2009 is wild business. Sheesh. Feud between 50 Cent and Rick Ross officially began in 2009. While there was some initial sparks in 2008, even worse, the beef escalated after Rick Ross' song Mafia Music leaked, which contained diss tracks aimed at 50 Cent. This led to a series of back and forth exchanges between the two artists, marking the official start of their long-standing feud. Yeah, I'm like, at this point, it could just be. I believe in smoke and mirrors. I don't believe the smoke in the mirrors, but I do believe in the smoke and mirrors situation, right? Cause come on, B. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, they can't. I don't even think unless they punch on each other or get one of their loved ones hit or something like that, these two men can't really hurt each other. They really can't. The worst I could see either one of them doing at best is going, oh, a good one. That was a good one. You a dirty motherfucker. That was a good one. Oh, teddy bear face having a whatever. That's at best I feel like that's what they do to each other. You understand what I'm saying? I'll tell you one thing. I would love to find out one day that it was all just a, you know what I'm saying, just a smoke and mirrors. I would love it personally because I think it's amusing how emotionally invested people, we as a culture get in some of these things. You know what I'm saying? In negative things too, at that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, niggas really get behind the whole situation and be involved and be debating, and you'll be fighting. You and your man will almost have a fight behind. You and your man to be out there yelling, arguing, damn near fighting behind some niggas you don't know. Let me tell you, a couple of weeks ago, was it a couple of weeks ago? Not too long ago, I went to this girl house. This lady, this woman, right? I didn't know her well, Kind of went on a date. And, we went on a date. I chose like a bar to go to, a random bar close to where she lives. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to take her too far out, away from, home, her comfort zone or whatever. So we went there. Bar was random. Neither one of us had ever been there. It was trash, right? We ended up going to the crib and listening to mad white boy music. You know what I'm saying? We was bonding over white boy music, right? But that night I left my watch at her crib, right? And so I went back. Some time later, like a week or so later, I went back to the crib and I hollered and I let her know I left my watch. I'm like, yo, can I come pick it up? Blah 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 blah. I asked if I could chill with her, has time to get some smooch, some smooches. You know what I mean? All good. Go to the crib, get my watch, go upstairs, sit with her. We talking about all kind of stuff, random conversations. Conversation of Rick Ross came up. You know what I'm saying? She asked me a question about Florida hip hop. And I was like, And she's like, what good rappers you know from Florida? Or Miami, I believe. And I immediately named Rick Ross, right? And she didn't, she wasn't feeling my answer, right? A lot of women who ain't really, I don't know, a lot of people who ain't really street, I don't want to just put it on women, but this, from my experience, I had this discussion more with women that, that I've, found myself on a date with. You know what I'm saying? Talking about hip hop or whatever. They really hold the CO thing against Rick Ross. More than us. More than men. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I had to explain to her, because she had very strong emotions towards Rick Ross. Right? And I was like, nah, I'm just saying, as far as the rap, the man can rap. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, men don't care what eventually she admitted. She don't like that, the fact that he, she thought he was a real nigga and he faking and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, listen, dudes don't really care about all of that. The reason we don't care about all of that, because as a man, as a real one, we know almost everybody in this game lying. All these niggas lying. Ain't none of these niggas was moving. We can't really hold that against him like that, and not hold it against 90% of the niggas we listen to. But anyway, that was a part of the discussion. The point I'm trying to make is, we got into a whole, she was starting to feel some type of way, like she was taking it personal. That, you understand, these are the type of emotions that people put behind. People get really emotionally invested in these, you know what I mean, these situations and these perceived realities. These niggas be faking, they be fronting. Shorty was really mad at me because I didn't hate Rick Ross with her. It got more out of hand and crazy later, but that's another story. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Just to tie all of this up in a knot. These niggas can't even hurt each other. They might as well. One of them might as well get on the phone and holler at the other one, and if they haven't already, and put something together. I don't know what or how or whatever, but even if this ain't no beef, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. If nobody get punched, I remember the situation with gunplay back in the day, but if all these years ain't nothing, this ain't no beef. This ain't even beef no more. If it ever was. Well, it was, but it ain't no more. You know what I mean? This is just something here for us to enjoy. I would really enjoy if one day the facts, a little information came out that them niggas been in cahoots this whole time. Anyway, spell everything right when you're around here. It's helter skelter, not helter skelter. It's BCC, not BBC. Pause, protesters. Get your ass out of here. The rest of y'all. Welcome to the nation. I am your host, your president, your tour guide, Mr. Monster Mirago. I'm the landlord, the owner, tenant, the janitor. I'm out the damn floor. Let's go. I'm one of the realest you ever gon' see. I ain't come here to lie to you. Niggas done with to lie to you. I get Beanie Siegel's first album, or Paul Pierce even, they are the truth. I'm sick and tired of you, you comical when I'm not in the mood for jokes. You are not a goon, not a shooter or a rider. You shoot off your mouth and you be riding dudes, cock for loot, that's a prostitute.